All right, can you guys hear me? StreamYard messing with me. Everybody's streaming today. Anytime StreamYard gets overcrowded, man, this shit gets crazy. What's up, everybody? Looks like South Carolina will go on to lose 26-7 to Oklahoma. How we feeling, guys? Let's get in here. Let's get in here and talk about how we really feel after watching this game today. I think everybody had a lot of hopes that we thought Sean Elliott taking over the offensive line. Maybe the team would come out with a little more enthusiasm, a little more excitement, a little more fire in their belly, and actually, it looked like the team was very flat. Was that the case of coach getting fired and everyone had their feelings hurt? I mean, I don't know. These are young kids with fragile minds, I guess, but y'all better toughen up. The world gets harder than that, than losing someone. Someone got fired that you may have been close to. I've had many people I was close to lose their job at places I worked or moved on to another job. What's up there, Matt? Doom it. How you doing today, Matt? Doom it. Um, yeah, total embarrassment by South Carolina today. It was just awful, man. It was really just I don't even know where to go with it. What we saw on the field was embarrassing. Just start with where the issue is. The over and over and over running the ball up the middle when it did not work. It took 8 plays inside the 5 yard line or inside the 10 yard line to figure out to throw the ball to a 6'5" Nick Harbor to get the only touchdown of the day. Past that, this offense was just atrocious. It was not good at all. This was embarrassing, and that's a fact. It was embarrassing. It was a total embarrassment. All week I've talked about it and I put out videos about the Shane Beamer and the Mike Shula and all this stuff and the hot seat and all that stuff. What's up, Mark Powell? And not a lot of you agreed with me that the way this thing was going, and then a lot of people didn't agree with me. A lot of people tell me go find another team. You're not a fan. Um, like, okay, then I guess you're gonna this football program. Because if we lost to Oklahoma, knowing we have Alabama, Ole Miss, Texas A&M coming up, that and we got embarrassed at home, y'all. That's the bad thing. You got embarrassed at our own house, and that's not the first time this year we've gotten embarrassed at our own house. And then we made LSU look like a great football team last week, and I'll be damned if they don't come out and Vandy kicks their ass today. Oh God. Well, Vandy kicked our ass too. So I mean, I just don't. I don't know where to go from here. All I really know how to do is let you guys talk. Every time I say my piece on this coaching staff, half the fan base wants to crucify me for it. Not that I really give a shit, and I'm still gonna sleep tonight. I say what I say. This team is not a good football team for all the talent that we know is on this football team. And it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse because we keep repeating the same thing. Remember Beamer in his conversation in his interview talking about we're not going to do the same things over and over. That's just insanity. Well, what the hell do you call what we did running the football today, Beamer, where you kept running over and over up the middle, knowing this offensive line is not very good? It terrible performance today. Turned it off in the third quarter. Jonathan turned it off in the third quarter. And I guarantee you, Jonathan's a great Gamecock fan. And he's not going to quit being a Gamecock fan. But I definitely understand Jonathan not wanting to watch what this team is putting on the field. And a lot of Gamecocks don't. We noticed today how big did the Williams-Brice Stadium empty out? Everybody went to the fair to get corn dogs and a cold beer. Nobody wants to watch this kind of performance out of this football team. And I guarantee you, Beamer will come out in his post game, and I've had a lot of people make comments on my halftime. Let me go ahead and on X when we were chatting back and forth. Let me go ahead and give you the Beamer speech. The guys played hard today. We just didn't perform. We didn't execute. It starts with me as the head coach, and we just got to do better. It's going to be the same old bullshit. Come Tuesday, Or come tomorrow night when he does his teleconference, same bullshit. Come Tuesday when he does his press conference, same bullshit. Come when his call-in show, same bullshit. We're going to hear the same bullshit. And you got an Alabama team that's probably going to come in here and just crunch us. Because if you think John Mateer kicked your ass today, wait till Ty Simpson rolls up in here and they're going 4 wide with their wide receivers, because Alabama actually does spread the football out. And if Jam Miller's healthy, we now know we can't stop the run either. It's not just the offense. This defense is not playing very good. Now we got it. We kind of figured we would have moments like this with the defense. We really did. The expectations was the offense to be better, but it's not. Durrell says, happy Saturday, Rooster. Man, it ain't happy about nothing. Jonathan says, I don't understand the hype around Sellers and Beamer has to go. Well, Sellers don't have a chance, Jonathan, and he's not going to take any chances to get hurt. I can tell you right now, Sellers is coasting, because one of those run plays, trying to think, remember the play exactly in my head, but it was a zone read. It was to get a first down, and we got stopped. It was a zone read. Sellers goes to hand it off, or he hands it off right up the middle. The middle was full when all he had to do was pull it and go around the edge, and he'd have had the first down easily. Didn't do it. He's coasting. Look, football is now about agents. Agents are in his ear. He's hearing about his draft stock and getting to the NFL and all that stuff. He's honestly looking at this season and what we have left, thinking to himself, why do I take a chance to get hurt? This team's not good enough to win football games. And people are going to tell me, oh, that's not the way that kid thinks. Shh. Dude, you're talking about millions of dollars. Not like the kid ain't already a millionaire. He got paid a ton in NIL money to be here at South Carolina. But I don't know where Beamer goes from here, because everyone thinks Sellers is coming back. Even if Sellers were to come back to college, is there any guarantee he's coming back to South Carolina? I mean, you're going to have teams that have senior quarterbacks that's going to be out here offering him money to move. Does he come back after the way this season's played out for him? Maybe, I don't know, his brother's there. Maybe he'd come back to play with his brother. Hell, maybe his brother leaves too. My faith, hope, and loyalty and respect for Shane Beamer is non-existent until Shula is fired. If not, hope Donati cleans house. We all feel that way, Mark. We sit here and we watch it week by week, and nothing is changing. Even though Beamer said, well, if we don't change things, it's insanity to do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. Well, we're doing the same thing over and over. Well, you are as a coach, Beamer. It's not us as a fan. We would change it. I guarantee as a fan, I even made a comment on X. Somebody needs to walk over there, take the headset off of Mike Shula, and escort his ass out of the stadium. He doesn't need to be at South Carolina. And I don't know how many times I have to explain fans' point of view versus a business point of view. And fans will come at me, and I'm trying to tell them, like, this is college football is a multi-billion-dollar business now. The University of South Carolina probably spends, if you think about this, in salaries, in just operating costs of the football facility itself, the stadium itself. I mean, you're talking, I don't know how many employees, just routine maintenance crews and grass crews and all these people that work on that stadium, to everyone that does everything to prep for these football games, the setup, the cost of getting the setup, and the fans are paying for it. That's what you pay for, and that's why they charge you $15 a beer. But you cannot mix friendship with money. And a lot of us know that lesson. And Beamer, and I don't even know if Beamer can hire good assistant coaches. I really don't, because he's not established enough as a head coach. Can he go outside of the box and hire somebody off of a resume or a coach that he really doesn't know? Or can he only get the people that he's worked with in the past or knows? I don't know, but I know if I put my hat on and I'm sitting here thinking about it, and it's like, We're spending, well, it's got to be, what do y'all think? With NIL, players, coaching, all the employees, everybody that works around that football program. Yeah, what y'all estimate that at? 300 million or more a year? It probably costs to operate South Carolina's football program. Now I know we're getting the money from SEC and all this other stuff, but that's why Donati's out getting these sponsors. That's why we have the caterpillar thing on the field, and that's why a lot of these teams are starting to get patches on the jersey. I said it a long time ago on my old channel. Before too long, you're going to look at a college football player, and he's going to look like he's got a NASCAR race suit on with all the patches and sponsors that they carry around. It's going to happen in the future because the money has to come from somewhere. But Donati's a businessman versus Ray Tanner, who was a good old boy, right? Why has Shane Beamer got a job? Because he had a relationship with Ray Tanner when he was here working for Steve Spurrier. Outside of that, does anyone think Shane Beamer just walks off the street and gets hired at South Carolina? Well, Ray Tanner made a bargain. He got him at a deal. Now, Shane Beamer makes $8 million a year. Expectations go up. Like I have some good South Carolina fans, and some of them are older and they really don't care. I just go enjoy the game. I don't lose any sleep over it. Drink, have your drinks, do whatever you do. Well, that's fine. That's fine. It's okay to be a fan like that. I'm not going to tell anybody how to be a fan. No one's going to tell me how to be a fan either. When people come trying to tell me how to be a fan, my emotions and how I should be, no two people are the same. I'm a driven, fiery person, fiery personality. I want to win. I've never done anything in my life that I didn't want to win at. Coming from my NASCAR, working in there for 20 years, you think I was showed up and put all the work in of driving the cars across this country back and forth and jumped over that wall and crawled under these cars when it was 110 degrees, not wanting to win the race? Now, did I always win the race? No. But I knew when I was going to that racetrack, I was going to give it all I had to try to get my driver into the winner's circle. And that's what these coaches are supposed to do with these kids. You have to get them into the winner's circle. I mean, the way Beamer sounded about the Lonnie Teasley thing, and when Norris brought up the point where Sean Elliott's more hands-on. Well, where the fuck was Lonnie Teasley at this whole time? That's why I call him Big Perm over handing out ice cream cones to the guys. Come on, dude. I'm for Chonk says, I didn't understand how Beamer is okay with that play calling. And that's the thing. He has the headset on. We're blaming it on Mike Shula. But Shane Beamer has that headset on. He's listening to the play calls. He can override that anytime he wants to. He has the power to override any play call. Just like they should have looked on the fake punt. You didn't have the numbers to do that. They were all over it. Oklahoma was all over that fake punt. They know Beamer. Brent Venables has played against South Carolina many thousand times, it seems like. And everybody knows our tendencies. Lenore Sellers. What did he tell us back? I think it was the Vandy game or Mizzou game. They know our plays. It's like they know what we're doing. We have tendencies. And the tendency is we do the same shit all the time. There's so many plays, and I was on Gamecock Chuck's live stream, and I'm sitting there and I'm talking about it. And you see all our guys line up, and they're all within the hash marks. Well, where do you think all the defensive guys are if every one of our offensive players is within those hash marks in the middle of the field? Every defensive player is there too. We try to run the ball up the middle. Our offensive line does not get push. Mark Powell said we're going to get boat raced against Alabama. You damn right, because they're big, they're physical. Does anyone think that anyone's going to get past Caden Proctor to put pressure on Ty Simpson? No, that offensive line is good, and it's way better than OU's. And that defense, I know OU has some stats, but that was playing against less great competition. Alabama's been beating ranked football teams. They haven't just been out here beating around little sisters of the poor. And this is not the same Alabama that played Florida State at the beginning of the season. I'm for Chunk says, if Shula isn't fired this week, let's get the pitchfork and start. I'm just not going to care the rest of the year. I'm for Chunk. This may be the farewell tour for Shane Beamer because I'm telling you, and I've been trying to tell people, and a lot of people disagree with me. Jeremiah Donati is not in the good old boy shit that we've seen around this university for basically my entire life. And I know some of you guys are probably much younger, some of you guys are older. When I look at my analytics, it tells me the age of the people that watch my channel the most. Surprisingly, a lot of the older Gamecocks, it's at 65 and older, they take up the biggest percentage of my audience. So they've been seeing this shit longer than I have. Some of them don't care, but some of them still do because they would like to see a championship brought into South Carolina. You know, and those the older. I'm not trying to say anything wrong about anybody or anything like that, but I'd say the range of people that bring in the most money to the University of South Carolina is probably 40 and above. Those are the because they have the bigger families. Their families come when their kids are getting to the age where they have kids. So you have your grandkids. When people start getting in their late 40s, 50s, and 60s, it becomes a family affair. Then it's not like back when you were younger and it's just you and your wife, and maybe you have a child or two. That whole family comes. You got 10, 12, 15 people out there buying tickets, spending money on food and everything else that they do. Around the University of South Carolina. And when them fans stop buying and stop going to games, because now you can stay at home in your air conditioner, do the same thing. You can build you a good tailgate right in your backyard, put up a big screen TV and watch football. When those fans turn on you, when those fans stop showing up to football game, I mean, they didn't announce that it was a sellout till last night. Uh, Tony said, see, Tony's one of those guys I'm talking about. He's 70, being a 70-year USC fan here. It's wait till next year. It's always wait till next year. Why are the expectations at South Carolina lower than expectations at other universities? Because they have a history of winning? Should that be right though? Should it be right that we look at Penn State and what they did with James Franklin and firing him and all the wins that he had, and they get rid of him? But South Carolina, if we talk about getting rid of Shane Beamer, oh, he's up there with Steve Spurrier. No, he's not. He is losing ground to Steve Spurrier every game we play. Every game we play right now, every game he loses, he's losing ground to Steve Spurrier. He's actually losing ground to Will Muschamp. And that's sad to lose ground to Will Muschamp. Right now, Will Muschamp is gaining on him because Muschamp ain't losing football games for South Carolina anymore. Shane Beamer is. And this is going to be a Muschamp year. We remember what happened, right? I've talked about this in other videos. Muschamp started out red hot. What do you have? 7 wins his first year, 7 or 8, something like that. Then he had a 9 win, beat Michigan in a bowl game, and that kind of. And then the wheels started falling off, right? A 4-win year, then a 2-win year, the COVID year. Do we really count the COVID year? The guy was fired in that year, but the wheels fell off. The wheels are pretty shaky on the wagon right now that Shane Beamer's got in the University of South Carolina, too. The problem is you got a different sheriff in town now, and his name is Jeremiah Donati, and he came from TCU, and they made it to a championship game and have been in a playoff, and he knows what that feeling is like. He knows what he's getting paid to do is to bring in that money. Tonio says, Shula needs to be fired. Do you think they will get rid of him mid-season? Who would have the experience to call the plays? I think you could do it universally. I mean, I don't know. Mike Fury was a head coach. I don't know how much play. I don't know his background enough to say he doesn't know how to call plays. Maybe he does. I really don't know his background enough. I don't know if he's ever been in that position. Sean Elliott might could call plays. I mean, people have said that. I don't know if Sean Elliott was in on play. I know a lot of the run stuff he was at Georgia State. I don't know how involved he was in play calling when he took over as interim coach at South Carolina or not. You could figure it out. You could go hire somebody right now. I mean, there's some older Gamecock coaches that G.A. Mangus and those guys that are still floating around Columbia that's working with high school teams and stuff. You could probably have them come in right now and call plays. I mean, what's it going to hurt if they don't get a lot of time? Because right now, Shula's got everything and all the time in the world, and it ain't working. So who cares? You get an offense coordinator, comes in 3 days, figures out something, simplifies it down to absolutely the bare bones of what he thinks can be successful, and starts calling plays. As long as he has a rhythm for it. Adam Ritter says Beamer needs to take his little behind and leave. Yeah, he might want to think about that Virginia Tech job if he wants to think about job security. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't know Jeremiah Donati. You don't know Jeremiah Donati. Nobody knows Jeremiah Donati and what thoughts is in his head. We don't know what this guy thinks. He's not someone we're used to dealing with at all. We don't. He could be a totally different person that ain't going to take much shit, and Beamer will be out the door. If he's a patient person that says, well, I'll give you one more year, but that whole staff has got to go. How does Beamer react to that? Because he don't want to fire his buddies. We already know that. It's like pulling his teeth to get him to get rid of somebody. He wouldn't even fire Marcus Satterfield. He told Marcus Satterfield, you need to go find another job because I don't want to announce to the world that you got fired. So you know he's not going to make the tough decisions, and sometimes you just got to be tough, man. Enough with the loves and hugs. This is big business. This is corporate business. This ain't your family business. You don't have to love and hug everybody. You get paid $8.1 million to win football games, not to love everybody. Mark says Shula needs to be fired today. Yeah. Do I expect them to fire him? Probably not. I don't know if they'll fire him. Octavian says go Gators. What? TRD says he thinks Cutter Woods is a decent quarterback. Look who we have on the field right now. That's our future. Yeah, but if he doesn't get ruined, TRD, that's the problem. I mean, you're about to go on. There's no way you can bring Shula back, regardless of what else happens the rest of this year. There's no way he's coming back. So Beamer's going into year 6, but year 4 offensive coordinator. Does that remind y'all of somebody else that coached at South Carolina recently? Now, I know Steve Spurrier moved a bunch of coaches around, but we all know Steve Spurrier was the offensive coordinator for South Carolina. A little different. But if Mike Shula's fired and we have to bring on another offense coordinator, this is so much like Will Muschamp. And when I say that, people get angry with me, but I'm like, compare the two, guys. Think about it and compare the two. Well, Beamer has more top 10 wins. Beamer also has NIL where he can pay players. And Beamer has a transfer portal where you can go out and get better players and you don't have to wait on players to develop. Spurrier, all these coaches, Muschamp, all these guys that was prior to NIL and transfer portal and transfer portal rules the way they are now, had to wait on players to develop. So if you had one bad recruiting class, it would set you back. The thing of it is now you can make up for that by going in the transfer portal. Blue says next 3 games will be L's already prepared. I'm not sure we don't. Coastal might be the only win we get the rest of this year. I'm not sure we beat Clemson. Klubnik comes back. They're a little better. They've got some games under their belt. Clemson has beat us at home routinely. We go out and play like we played today, we're losing to Clemson also. We're not any better than that football team. And we played like ass today. What's up, Rooster? Shula needs to go today. Our team performance overall. Beamer's getting a phone call today about Shula. I guarantee you there will be conversations with him and Jeremiah Donati about how they can run this football team without him as a play caller. You have to. You have to have that conversation. How can you not have that conversation? Every day that goes by that Mike Shula is employed by the University of South Carolina is a day that more fans are turning on Shane Beamer. If you are Shane Beamer, your bags are right now. If any of you guys go on X or Twitter or whatever, go on there right now. There is an outrage about this football team. It ain't just me sitting here talking about it. A lot of times when I talk about things, it comes from you guys. It's what you guys are saying. It's what you guys say in the comments of my videos. It's what you guys are putting out on X and Twitter. It's what you guys are saying in comments to Jackpot and Gamecock Chuck and everyone like that. It's you guys' voice. We're just bringing your voice to the camera. But we read what you write. We speak what you say. With the money players and coaches are making now, I'll never be told how I should react to them shitting all over themselves. These players, I know. I had a young kid. I made a comment about Beamer needs to take the Virginia Tech job, or somebody put something out on X about a game plan for Beamer was to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, nah, I got the next three steps that Beamer needs to do. Is called take the Virginia Tech job, start packing your shit, and get the U-Haul rented. And this young guy comes on, oh, I understand you being emotional and you don't really mean that, because he had a comment about me staying in Blacksburg if I helped drive the U-Haul up there. And I'm like, dude, this guy's profile picture was him and Connor Shaw, and the kid don't even look like he shaves yet. And I'm like, brother, I'm in a Gamecock for over 50 years. You don't even shave yet. And you gonna tell me how to be a fan. Get the fuck out of here. I wouldn't Shane Beamer couldn't tell me how to be a fan. Because I tell him the same thing. Look here, son, you about 10 years younger than me. And I've been a Gamecock fan longer than you knew who the South Carolina Gamecocks were. I don't care how many bus rides you took with your father down to play South Carolina. I promise you, I know who the Gamecocks are. Uh, Long before Shane Beamer knew who they were. Excited says they want the bag. They can get what comes with it. Yeah, I don't. They're going to lose some players, no doubt. No matter what happens, even if Beamer stays or Beamer goes, they're going to lose football players through the transfer portal on this football team because people are coming with money now. And this is not a personal attack. And anyone that comes at me and thinks this is a personal attack against Shane Beamer because I don't like the way his coaching has turned out, it's not. It's PTSD from the same shit that happened with Will Muschamp, because this path is the exact same. If you look at it year by year by year, this is the same path, the same road we went down with Will Muschamp. Everything was paved with golden bricks Muschamp's first few years when we were playing good. And then all of a sudden, all those bricks turned into a bumpy ass dirt road. And if y'all think I'm not telling the truth, you can look it up yourself. I don't know. Gamecock Chuck says give Shula an extension. Yeah, I know Chuck's being funny. If Chuck would drive over there and help Mike Shula pack right now, next week will be even worse. Yeah, probably. David Green says, hold on, Rooster, we're about to run up the middle again. Yeah, I hope Shula's running up the middle of the interstate to wherever the fuck he needs to go, airport or whatever, and get the hell out of South Carolina. But if Beamer can't turn it around between, and I think that's what Beamer's scared of, to even get rid of Shula. He's like, bro, it's only, I don't know how to get somebody to call plays. It's going to get worse. It's going to be that. No, it ain't going to get no worse. Beamer, you're going to lose regardless. But I don't know how you keep Mike Shula and keep your job at the same time. The only reason I see that is because they talk about buyouts. But the problem is now you're going to have Gamecock fans looking around like, hold up, Shane Beamer's buyout ain't nearly half as much or close to the amount of some of these other cats that's getting fired. 10 3 and outs today, Mark Powell says. Yeah, and did we ever get a first down on third down? Did we ever convert a third down? I actually kind of quit watching the game the last 3 or 4 minutes, I think. I got distracted, had to take my little dog out and all that stuff, and then come in here and set up for the show. So actually, the fourth quarter, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I didn't pay attention to. I had it on my phone right here, trying to set up all this stuff. Did we ever convert a third down? Can y'all tell me that? What offense coordinator will be available next year? There's going to be a lot of them pro sports debates. Hell, the one right now at Penn State will be available. Any of these offense coordinators that are working under interim head coaches right now, and I'm sure there's going to be more, but you don't even have to wait on availability. There's guys that are out there. You can go offer a job to them. You can give them a call. I mean, a lot of people brought up to me Browse. Hire Sam Pittman as your O-line coach, and get Kendall Browse as your coordinator. Kind of putting the Arkansas staff back together if you do that. But I mean, Arkansas was pretty good under those guys when they were together. Kendall Browse is at TCU right now. Go out there and look at what they're doing. I think he's still at TCU. It was last time I checked. TCU burning it up, scoring points. Got a quarterback out there that's chunking it all over the field. Beamer could go 1-11 this year, and he wouldn't go anywhere. You may be right, Bird to Fly. I don't know if he will or he won't, but I guarantee his staff will have to go. Not the whole staff. I don't think Sean Elliott will get fired. I don't think Mike Fury would get fired. Um, but you already get rid of Teasley. I don't think Blackwell's very good, if y'all want me to be honest. The running backs haven't impressed me this year. I mean, they try, and I get it. The old line's bad, but even the running backs have been not very good at blocking. They've missed plenty of holes today. I mean, we were begging the whole game. Hey, put Mo Brown in, let him be the lead blocker. And Mo Brown goes to one spot. I think it was on one of the goal line stances, and it might have been, was it Fuller? It was in there. I don't remember, but yeah, I think it was the play just before we threw it to Harbor. Brought Mo Brown in. Mo Brown goes to run. I think it was Fuller or whatever. He takes a different hole than where Mo Brown went to lay the block. Like, follow your lead blocker, dude. You run more. Mo goes to the outside. He runs in the middle where everybody was in a big old pile. Like, what are you doing? R says if today's game don't show people that Beamer is not the answer. I don't know what it'll take to wake people up. Some people will never wake up, R. They will not. Even if Beamer were to get fired, you know what's going to happen? There will be fans, no matter who the coach is. 3 or 4 years down the road, a new coach comes in and he has one bad season. There's going to be fans that they're going to bookmark their shit and come back at you and say, "See, I told you should have kept the same Beamer. You got a new coach, still get the same shit." But you got to try. I don't know. There's no right. I guess it's all opinionated, right? And every opinion's there's no right or wrong. It's an opinion. But I think every day the opinion of Shane Beamer getting fired grows larger. With every loss, with every bad play, with every repeated same play, with every third down that we don't convert on, with every touchdown that we don't make, with every holding call and stupid penalty, it just keeps boiling up and up and up. It's like a volcano, man. And sooner or later, it's going to boil enough that volcano goes off in this fan base. I've seen it. We've all seen it happen, especially older fans. The younger fans haven't been around to see this shit. Like the kid that was talking to me on X today. Bro, you wasn't around during the like Sparky Woods and Brad Scott type shit that went on around this football team. When asses stop sitting in seats, shit will move. We all know that. When people stop buying those tickets, which they're about to charge you more for after they do all these renovations on that stadium, you're going to pay more because you're going to get luxury seating in there. When asses stop hitting seats, shit starts happening. Back in the day before the portal and NIL, it would be hard to cut a coach. Now you can cut one and go buy players to cover up for it if you lose some good ones. Exactly. Well, you can get rid of coaches too. Paxton, what's up, buddy? Hey, Rooster Beamer is cooked. Hey, see, there's my buddy Paxton. Paxton, you know what I told him all week? South Carolina should run the game plan that Texas did against Oklahoma. You know what we did not do, Paxton? Run the game plan that Texas did against Oklahoma. Nowhere near it. We tried to run the ball up the middle every time. I love what Saheem says. I love to be at least Penn State relevant. Why can't we be? Our coach told us when he first got hired. What was Beamer's first words when he got hired about the University of South Carolina? We have everything here to win. The moment you said that, you don't have any more excuses, Shane Beamer. It is all on you from there, brother. It is on you from that point in time. We should tell our race car drivers when they go into these meetings and get with media, man, never talk about how good your car is. Because the moment you talk about how good your car is, you know what that does? The sole responsibility falls on the damn driver. You go out there and say, "Hey, man, my car was set up. It was perfect today in practice. We're ready. I feel great about it. We're going to go out and win this race tomorrow." Yeah, you know what happens then? It falls on the race car driver from that point. And that's the same thing with a head coach. You come out here and you tell us how great this football team is. You tell us how much talent we have on this football team. If you'd have came in the first of the season and said, "Look, guys, we are really young. We did lose a lot of good football players. We have a new offensive coordinator. We're trying to break in a new offensive system. We're trying to do all this new stuff. You're going to have to be patient with this football team." That's not what we heard. That's not what we were told by any coach. Clayton White, we've talked about this before. Oh no, this defense is going to be just as good as it was last year. We have really good players and they're ready to play. It's going to be just as good. No, ain't nowhere near that. And we're soft. We gave 10-yard cushion on the 3rd and 2 after we talked about giving up 18 yards on the 2nd and 20. We can't get teams off the field. And then you give a 8 to 10-yard cushion you only need 2 yards for the first down. What are we doing? You got to man up. We play so soft in our coverage, scared to get beat over the top. We know Mateer was shaky throwing the football against Texas last week. Why are we giving him the easy first downs? Vanderbilt and Mississippi State are ahead of South Carolina nowadays. Crazy. I'm not sure about Mississippi State yet. We'll see that, but Vanderbilt is definitely a better football team than us this year. But they passed a lot of people. Hell, they just beat LSU. So I don't feel. I mean, the more Vandy wins, the better I feel about that loss. But it doesn't make me feel better about my football team that Vanderbilt's gotten better than us. And you know what Clark Lee decided to do? Take over the defense. Went out and got Jerry Kill, brought in Pavia, brought in some other players, got his hands out of that offense. They designed that offense around the quarterback, and it's working. Vanderbilt's offense is designed to be ran with a player like Diego Pavia. It's a college offense. At any opportunity, there is options for what the quarterback can do in there. He can hand it off. He can run it himself. He can pitch it. He has all kind of outlets on what he can do with the football. Donati isn't going to lose big money sponsors for coaches making millions to produce less. Exactly, Mark, because he's just bringing those in. I can't remember. I think it was Evan Williams or something. He signed up to be at the stadium on top of the Blanchard deal. He's got all kind of deals in the works. The Nike deal coming about. He's trying to sell to pay for all this stuff, right? If you want improvements, you got to sell. So you're trying to sell all this advertisement. And that's what football's turned into now. You hear about people getting patches on jerseys and all that stuff. Why did Cutter find open receivers in 3 seconds? Oklahoma by that time, dude, didn't care. They weren't playing hard. They knew the game was over. You can't really go in there. I mean, yeah, it's easy to say at the end of the game, but it's kind of downtime. They probably had, who knows, second, third string guys in there for Oklahoma's defense. But they really wasn't playing that hard. You got to be honest at that time of the game. You're not really playing that hard. Cash Stampede, now he's got to go. Our whole coaching staff needs to go, says my man Cash Stampede. Every decent player will transfer. Not every player is going to transfer. There are some guys that love South Carolina. Here's what I fear, though. This season falls off the wheels and we're a 3-win team. A lot of these big recruits that South Carolina kind of has that's walking the line anyway, that's taking other visits to other places, or these flips we're trying to get, you don't get them, you're going to end up losing them. So then you're back in the transfer portal trying to replace these guys. That's not how you want long-term success. You got to develop the high school kids. And we thought we were doing that. We got all these 4- and 5-star. Remember the Great Wall of Carolina we were talking about a couple years back that has turned out to be the disaster that is called our offensive line now? Now, I get it. Maybe it's a mentality thing to me. And South Carolina's just, they don't have the right mentality anymore. Let them all leave. They all suck anyway, Townsend says. I can go say every player we got sucks, but I think Fred Johnson will be okay over time. Some of the DBs, the wide receivers, I think we got a good young wide receiver core. But they ain't going to stay there behind this kind of offense. Hell, they want to get on the field and play and make plays. And there's good, fun offenses out there where they can get out and catch the football in space and make plays and get their name known. Wouldn't you want to do that? Go back and watch the video of Donati's family during the first sandstorm. The way he held himself, his mannerisms, the man is about business. That's what I say too. And we don't know how he thinks. We don't know the thoughts that's in his head. I mean, if we can go back and I haven't really looked into it at his whole career at TCU, we could probably gather how he kind of thinks. I mean, I really haven't. I mean, I just listen to the man talk when he did the interview with Blanchard, with the two brothers. You could tell he was about business and he's about partnerships and he's about bringing in money to the University of South Carolina. And that's what he's going to keep doing. TCU, he wasn't afraid to make a change at coach. He's not going to be afraid to make a change at coach. He didn't come to the SEC to watch us be a mid-tier football team. He came here to improve everything he can. Beamer going to get an ass chewing today. I don't know how Donati is. I don't know if he's that type of person that sits down and chews ass or whether he's just one that sits down and states facts. If I met the man in person, I could kind of judge that. I think we all kind of, the older we get, the more we develop a sense of someone's outlook and how they talk and how they do things. It could just be a fact that he just sits down without an ass chewing and looks Beamer in the face and say, hey, if you can't improve this football team, buddy, we're going to have to look in a different direction. And he might just be that kind of guy. He could just simplify it that much. And he might not be a yeller and a screamer and an ass chewer. Business is business. College football is big business. In college football, winning is big business. This ain't about our friendship. This ain't about our personal life. This ain't about our wives and kids going out baking cookies together. This is business, brother. And you got to win. People talking about, oh, Beamer brings in too much money to school. What the hell does Beamer bring in? Goes out and shakes hands and kiss babies. He's got to get some money for recruits. It's revenue sharing now. This isn't a whole game of like it was a couple of years ago with all the money coming through the collectives. These kids are getting paid money, TV money, jersey money, anything that sells with their name on it. I mean, hell, every other week I see Lenore Sellers got a new sponsor, from polo shirts to sunglasses to Barbie dolls to you name it, Mercedes, Chevrolet. Hell, I mean, the kid don't want for shit. I made a comment the other day, and I can't remember what the comment was. I think Steven Garcia made a comment about the kids not being tough these days. I said, yeah. They aren't. They're giving everything. If you look at the facilities that these kids go play football in, bro, we would want that in our house, right? You got float tubs, hot tubs, people giving you massages, all kind, anything you want. They're making you protein shakes. You're cooking in there. You get the food, the diet that they got you on. Bro, they are pampered. I had to dig out of old boxes to find helmets and shoulder pads and pads, the thigh pads and shit. I was digging shit out of old boxes from has-beens when I played junior varsity. Everything that varsity got rid of, junior varsity got. I didn't never have anything new. Hell, by the time I got to varsity, we were still using the same. I think 1 year out of my 3 years of playing varsity that we got new jerseys. Other than that, we had the same jerseys year after year after year. That's the kind of ball I played at a little high school in South Carolina. We know all this shit they got now. I don't know. Rock Bottom's built more men than Silver Spoons ever will. That was my comment on Garcia's. Rock Bottom. You don't know how to climb if you've never had to climb, and that's the problem with a lot of these kids. They've never had to climb, brother. Never had to climb. You guys are having a conversation over here. Let me get caught up on some of these chats. Mark Powell, Cash MP, Gamecocks. I appreciate all y'all being in here too. I'm not trying to forget y'all in roll call. Townsend, how you doing, my friend? Keith Brandenburg, does we as fans need to stop going to the games? I ain't telling you what to do, Keith. You can stop going if you want to. I mean, I've had a lot of comments through my videos from a lot of people that bought season tickets that said they're going to quit buying season tickets. They may still go to games. Malcolm Nash, how you doing, my friend? We've wasted the most physically gifted quarterback we've ever had. We've wasted two, Malcolm. Two. Don't forget the last quarterback we had is in the NFL chunking it around for the Saints right now. Actually, one of the better quarterbacks just on a bad football team. Colorado Buffs still suck. When will Beamer realize he works for the people, not anyone else? South Carolina's a public college funded by taxpayers. He does. A part of his salary is very much paid for by the taxes. Actually, every coach works for you. Every coach works for the taxpayers of South Carolina. Now, the extra money that Beamer gets paid outside of what his salary is comes from boosters and all those sponsors. That kind of stuff pay him because a state employee is not getting paid $8 million. But a lot of that all that coaching staff, their base salary comes from the taxpayers of South Carolina. They're a servant. They're a civil servant for the state of South Carolina. Michael Lynn, everyone in this program is soft and they don't have a winning mindset. Nope, they don't. Uh, Flag football coach could have called better plays. Facts. Money dimes. Money dimes dropping dimes over here. Michael, what's up, buddy? Adam Ritter, he's so done. Man, Ritter is done. I love South. I'll never give up on South Carolina. I will quit on a staff that I don't think's providing us with what we need to win football games. If Andy beats Texas next week, they make the playoffs. Yep. That's why a lot of teams aren't going to mess around. Stone Love. Hopefully, our new AED does his job. College football is a huge business, and Beamer has lost his team. Any CEO thinking the company will be fired. Beamer should be a cheerleaders coach. Stone Love, I can't disagree with you. I cannot disagree with you more. I mean, I just can't. Nothing you said right there can I disagree with. If the coach ain't tough and the coach ain't got some tough skin, do you expect the players to have it? Let me ask you that question. Would you players normally take on it's just like anybody you train, right? Normally players take on the personality of the coach or the leader or the type of who they're learning from. Um, and obviously in these players, you see it. Hey Rooster, it looks like to me the team just gave up. No confidence whatsoever in the coaching staff. They don't. There's more going on in the locker room than we'll ever know, Max Todd. I have a feeling there's more going on in that locker room than we know anything about. There's some dissension amongst the ranks. There's a reason you don't see offensive linemen get requested to do. Has anyone seen an offensive line requested or a press conference or an interview with an offensive lineman since that day we figured that there were a bunch of them on there talking and none of them are on the same page? Uh, Prince Lee says Shula needs to go. Facts. He does. Craig Goblin says, I'm watching Ole Miss get it out quick against Georgia. What can we do? Different offensive philosophy, Craig. Totally different offensive philosophy. We want a NFL drop back Tom Brady offense. But even Brady got the ball out fast and he was accurate. Like he was way more accurate than Sellers can be. But Sellers, he don't have no time. God, the dude was in his face as soon as he caught the snap today. What did he get? Sacked 6 times again? I know it was like 5 or 6, maybe 7 times again today. And I get some of it's on him running around. He lost yards. It's not a true sack. But the play call, it's so weird to me because just watching Sellers with the opportunity for an RPO where he could have pulled the ball on that one of the runs and went around the outside and very easily got the first down. It's like, what is he looking at? Last year, Sellers would have pulled that and ran around the corner. And since everybody was going in after the running back, he could have probably got way more than just the first down with his ability. No, I don't know how he's being coached by Shula. I don't know what they're telling him to do in that situation. Is it a true RPO or is he supposed to just hand that off? I don't know. You think Beamer gets fired? Cocky Talk, my man says, you think Beamer gets fired if he doesn't win another game this season? Well, he's going to win one more game. Does he get fired? Cocky Talk, I'll be honest with you, brother. I don't know. Because I don't know the mindset of the new athletic director and how he functions. I think it's going to be pretty hard to explain to the fans how Beamer's back if we go 3-8. When we sit here and we watch coaches that have actually had more successful coaching stints getting fired. Because you got to look at the whole picture, right? You say, well, Beamer overachieved his first 2 years. Well, year 3, year 2 for Rattler, we go 5-7, which was. Would you consider that underachieving? I would think. And then you come back with a 9-3, but then this year you fall to 3-8, and there's no consistency in what you're doing. I can see both sides of it. I can see why they would want to keep him and then just tell him, hey man, you got to do something with the staff. This year right here is your determining year. Here's your staff. But as fans, do we really want to see that? I mean, are we willing to take that chance to go through another bad year with Beamer? Do we love Beamer that much? You got to ask yourself that. I can't tell you whether you love Beamer that much or not. Whether you think he's the guy that can turn it around or not. That's in your mind, the way you think about it. If you asking me personally, I don't think he's the guy for the job. I think he's swimming in water. I think he's in the ocean surrounded by sharks, and the only thing he got is some floaties on. He doesn't know how to handle the situation he's in right now because he has no experience. The sharks are us. It's the fans. We're circling his ass right now. And the only little floaties he got out there is whatever Jeremiah Donati decides to do with him, whether that's give him another chance or let him go. Because the sharks are just going to keep circling and they're going to keep coming, and there's going to be more and more of them. The more losses this team gets this year, the worse we look. We got this game to me was just like Ole Miss last year. We came out flat. We never looked like we wanted to be in the football game, and that's exactly how we played. Did it remind y'all the same thing of Ole Miss last year? Because it sure did me. It was a football team that didn't want to be on the field, and this is fair time, and you're sitting here telling all the fans all week, show up, be loud, show up early. You got your little hype machine built in behind you that's screaming, oh, you need to show up early if you want to see all the excitement that Sean Elliott brings to this football team. And then you walk out there like a flat fucking can the way you played. Shit just don't make no sense. Adam Ritter said the fans would chew Beamer's ass up. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. We all know it's coming. That's the thing. We're sitting here and we're watching it happen. The fans are going to get louder and louder and louder, or they're just not going to show up. Bama will be a sellout. You know why? Because everybody wants to see Alabama play football. It won't be a sellout because we think we're going there to beat them. South Carolina fans are going to show up because we're playing Alabama, and y'all got all the hope in the world that South Carolina going to beat them. We're going to bitch about it all week, and I guarantee you by Thursday, the hype machine that comes behind everybody on YouTube or Twitter or all them are going to start, well, I don't know. The more I look at this game, I think South Carolina's got a chance. I've even done it myself. I've personally done it. Now, I did think South Carolina. No, I knew we were going to lose. I felt a little better today. So I threw a couple bucks on South Carolina to win outright. If I won or I lost, I made money or I didn't make money. But I told everybody in my video yesterday I didn't think South Carolina was winning this football game. I just had zero confidence in our offense, and it showed me. I just didn't realize I should have not much faith in our defense either. Beamer is looking like an overpaid cheerleader. $8 million, brother. You can shake a lot of pom poms for $8 million. It's a disgrace with this kind of talent. And you know what, Tony? Here's the thing. They told us we have this kind of talent. We depended on the so-called experts, the coaches, right? We saw some of the talent. Now we knew what Lenore Sellers was. We know the potential of what Nick Harbor could be. We knew what Dylan Stewart was. We saw flashes of Brian Thomas his whole career at South Carolina. We knew the DB room between Judge Collier and Jalen Kilgore and all those guys should be pretty good, right? DQ Smith, I mean, he's like my age. He can't he I could go out there and stick with a wide receiver better than that guy can. When I guarantee you, when I was his age and I played cornerback, I think I could get out there and hang with him. As far as him covering a wide receiver, it's non-existent. He just cannot. Um, Worst coaching job I've ever seen, Cash Step, he said. I don't know if it's the worst coaching job I've ever seen because I've seen some really daggone bad ones. But also at times you had a lot less talent in some of the games I watched. Beamer needs to go back to coaching tight ends at another school again. I think he needs to go back to a smaller school. I mean, I think he could probably be an okay head coach, but he needs. It's almost like we should have kept Loggins and sent Beamer to App State for him to learn. Right? Loggins up there throwing up all kind of points at App State. I mean, it's a struggle for him, but it's his first year. But hell, they're putting up points up there. Michael Lynn said they should have kept them in Fort Jackson longer. Yeah. Uh, Distribution left. The fans are booing during the game at our own team. That is a problem. I heard they broke out with some fire Shula chants. Is that true? Is that true? Ole Miss working on Georgia. Ole Miss is a good football team. We ain't beating Ole Miss. Anyone that got any hopes in their life to think that we're gonna travel out there to Ole Miss and beat them is wrong. We're gonna get skull drug by Ole Miss. That's a good football team. And they've had to be a better team this year because they have less talent. So they're playing more like a team than they played last year. Does the offense coaching staff smoke meth? Mr. Cheatham wants to know. I don't know if they smoke meth, but they damn sure cannot call plays. Other teams in the SEC. Cash Stampede says South Carolina fans deserve a championship. You damn right we do. But some Gamecock fans will tell you, well, that's just the way it's always been. That's just the way it's going to be. Why? Why should it be that way? You got money coming in now, man. I mean, you're making $60, $70 million a year just off of your TV contract for being in the SEC. So we should just be a bad football team and let people up there just collect all that cash? Pad their bank accounts while they put shit on the field while we had to sit here and watch it? I think we should have better expectations. Now, I'm not telling anybody how to feel. Y'all can feel however the hell you want to feel. But that's how I feel. I don't think there should be a coach sitting up there banking $8 million a year and providing us as fans, and especially the guys, the people that show up and go to the game and spend on. I could imagine. I mean, I've been to games. I mean, it costs me a ton of money to go up there and get hotels and tickets and tailgate foods and my beers or whatever else. But I live in Florida. I'm just saying, but you still spend money. You go to a game. I don't know. James Franklin, then we go to Nike. It will be a fresh start. I don't have a problem with James Franklin. The only thing I can think of, you're kind of almost getting the same offensive play style. Is that what you really want? Because Penn State didn't have some just crazy offense. You know what I mean? Is it a proven winner? Yes. Will you get the same talent at South Carolina you got to Penn State? Can you go out and do the same thing? It's almost the same thing I say we beat our head against the wall right now when Beamer thinks we should have a Georgia offense, but we don't have Georgia talent across the board. We've not recruited anywhere near through the years like Georgia, Alabama. You can't do the same things they're doing. Why do you think Tennessee is successful against some of these teams? Why do you think Ole Miss is successful against these blue bloods of the SEC they talk about? Because they do it different. They have different offenses. They make people think. I was watching a breakdown of Ole Miss and what they do with Chambliss and how they were like screwed up with LSU. It was actually to talk about LSU's defense. How Chambliss stands there, you may know how to stop, look at the sidelines to get an offensive play. Well, LSU would stop and look at the defense to get their play. By that time, Chambliss just turns around and snapped the ball, and LSU players were all defense was all over the place. They were tricking them. You never see us do anything like that. We're not creative enough to do shit like that. Radioactive says, I feel they depend on Sellers too much. He may leave us. There, you cannot imagine what's in a kid's head. I still think he goes pro. I think he's already got scouts and agents in his ear. It just looks like it to me with the way he's playing. He is playing not to get hurt, and that's not the way he played last year. I think he's very confused. I think Shula's gotten his head and ruined that kid's head on what he should be doing. My opinion. It's like anything. People can get in your head and you quit doing what you're really good at and you start getting confused. I talked about this before. I made this scenario of golfing. Um, you play golf freely, you don't care, you drink beer, you go out there, seem like you hit the ball better, you play a little better. The moment you start thinking you're getting good, you start putting more pressure on yourself and you go to start going to the driving range and you start wanting to get lessons. And the more and more you get into all this shit in your head and your golf game just goes to shit and you're out there shooting. You were shooting 100 just on average, going out there having fun, and now all of a sudden you're shooting 110 because you're overthinking everything you do. You know? Yeah, South Carolina has lower standards than 9 and 10 teams. That's the way people tell me anyway, Bird and Fly. I get it all the time in my videos. People at South Carolina should have lower standards. Charlie said, no, we do not have lower standards. I'm pretty sure that's what he's saying nope to. Not sure if you mentioned this, but Brian Rowe was suspended for violating team standards today. Well, they never said why he wasn't. They just said he was on the report as out. I don't know what violating team standards mean. Was he smoking weed? I don't give a shit. Smokes weed or not. Carolina will never be good in the SEC. Not if we keep acting like we did today, Cash Stampede. If we don't raise our expectations, you're right. We're probably not. The booster should buy out his contract. Michael says, "Yup." I don't know. Agree 1,000,000 and 1,000%. Caden then plays. I hear you, buddy. Adam Ritter, do you think players will get fired up when they hear boos? No. No one wants to be booed. They won't get fired up over that. But they're going to hear it. And you better get some tough ass skin. Hell, I've had to get tough skin in my life. Everybody's got to get tough skin, right? Clemson. I see stuff. What's the Clemson score? They losing too? I figured K Club that's not playing, Clemson's going to lose. Our players don't care. We have shit coaching. I think it's okay to be comfortable sometimes, but then I also think you have to get to a point. Damn, Cash Stampede said we should be an American Athletic. No, we're not that. No, we're too big a university for that. We just need to get rid of coaches. It's not move our team down because our coaches suck. It's elevate our coaching staff so our team is where they should be. I'm not knocking my team. I'm not going to penalize my team because the coach sucks. No, I'm going to fire the coach and get my team to where it's supposed to be. Sad part is the call-in show, you will get 1 or 2 calls kissing up. Always, bro. I'm telling you, they screen those calls, Adam Ritter. That's not like you calling in talking to Rooster, buddy. Those things are screen calls. They're not letting anybody. You think they're letting Adam from Spartanburg or Adam Ritter from Adam Ritter call in? Adam from Columbia or Orangeburg or wherever Adam's from call in and talk to Shane Beamer? I want to see that, Adam. This is Adam from Orangeburg. Shane Beamer, I would like to know what you're doing. with your $8.1 million, are you improving this football team? Ain't gonna happen for you, Ritter. Craig says 16-7 SMU over Clemson. Okay, I got you. I got you. Let's go to the new pack. Too much travel, Cast Stampede. No. Why are we lowering our team and not making the coaches, firing coaches and getting our expectations up to where they need to be, where they should be? Mm. Why try to fake punt instead of just leaving Sellers on the field? Bro, since Pete Limbo left, is anyone happy about our special teams? I'm not. I think that's the guy that's hurt Beamer the most not being on the staff anymore because he was the guy that could sit down and talk about it with Shane Beamer. I think he was the guy that Shane Beamer leaned on the most. Uh, I don't know. Cash Stampede said he missed Dow Loggins. I don't know if I missed Dow Loggins. I still want more out of our offense. Game was not 100% sellout. No, but they said it just for the fans, for the hype machine. South Carolina's got a hype machine too, buddy. They have channels that are all about hype machine. You will never hear anything out of Gamecock Central or any of them other cats the way we talk about it on here. They'll be realistic about some stuff and they'll talk about this, but boy, they're not losing those press passes. Not gonna happen. Bird to Fly says, imagine spending $500-600 on 2 tickets to watch these type of performances. Couldn't be me, brother. Oh, but a lot of people do it. And I have a lot of people. Jason Dinkins says Matt Campbell. I don't know. I don't know how he'd fit the SEC. Maybe. I think it's Donati's going to make. He's going to lead. If South Carolina decides to move on from Beamer, he'll be the guy that leads the charge on finding a new coach, and I think he'll do better interviewing and screening of who South Carolina would hire than Ray Tanner did. I'm not one of these people that blames Ray Tanner for everything in the world, but I think Ray Tanner was very much a good old boy inside of this old guard at South Carolina. And we all know it. We've all talked about it. We call it the board of trustees, but it's people employed at the university too. There's this old thing in South Carolina. I know I'm from South Carolina, and they still have it. They don't like to move with the rest of the world. Uh, you know, it's like pulling teeth to get the state of South Carolina to step up with what the rest of the world's doing. They like to stay that old way. But if I get my read right on Donati from what I know about him, he's not that. He's going to open things up. He's trying to bring in different businesses. He's trying to do things different. So I think he'll do a whole different deal this time when it comes to a coaching search and hiring and all that stuff. Frank Rizzo says South Carolina needs to work out a deal with Virginia Tech to get Shane Beamer out. I don't even know if Virginia Tech wants him. You want me to be honest, Frank? After his performance at South Carolina, I don't even know if Virginia Tech wants him. I don't think he'll get it. If South Carolina moves on from Shane Beamer, he's not getting another Power 4 head coach. He might get a smaller school head coach, maybe a G6, maybe even D2. He might get another opportunity to head coach, but it's going to be a step back and for a smaller school because he needs to learn how to be a head coach. I think we all jumped on board with him. We know he loves the University of South Carolina with all his heart. And everybody fell in love with the fact that he loved South Carolina. Everybody fell in love with it. We were able to overperform with him as a head coach. But the more the staff changes have happened, other than the Satterfield thing, but the more we lost, Pete Limbo, and you've lost Dow Loggins now, and you've lost it seems like the more the staff has changed, the worse we've gotten. And that love, man. I think that love out of the fan base for Shane Beamer, I think a lot of people's eyes are getting more open that he's swimming in an ocean that he has no clue how to get out of. He just doesn't know how to make the right decisions. He doesn't know how to make the tough decisions. He don't know how to get through. He's probably leaning on other coaches that's had to go through this, like his dad and all that stuff. But times have changed. There's more money involved now. You can't take the same path that those guys did because there's just too much money involved in college football. The way this is all moving, I mean, hell, the Big Ten about to sell all their rights to some kind of cool investment thing or whatever to get a bunch of funding for their stuff. It's weird. Mark Powell says Shula has ruined Sellers by Sellers being a great kid and by being transparently coachable. Yeah, also not sure that money ain't affected Lenore Sellers. All the distractions, the commercials, and being tugged over here, and having your own. It's like anybody. You start getting money if you never really had it, like that kind of money, and all the praise and slaps on the back, and you're the greatest thing ever, and all that stuff. A lot of people do not know how to handle that mentally. You need to get with psychologists and all these people that can help you prepare you for these kind of things. You got to have someone there to kind of keep you humble. You know what I mean? If you never had success and all of a sudden you're having all the kind of, it's like the new lottery winners that go broke. You got to learn how to handle that mentally. And I don't know, maybe he's not matured enough to handle it. People say, well, he don't need to go to NFL. He needs to come back then. You're not going to tell that kid to make that choice, and we don't know what he's going to be offered. Everybody compares him to Anthony Richardson, and I said this numerous times. Anthony Richardson got almost $25 million in guaranteed money. 25 million. His contract was for 33, but 25 of it was guaranteed. That means he's getting that. There's nothing, no trade, no whatever. It's guaranteed $25 million he's getting on that contract. If Lenore falls into that category, he's going to get that. You know what I mean? Uh, Mark Powell says facts about Pistol Pete. Yeah, Pistol Pete was that mental guy. He was that really smart and in books, and he was that type of person that had that. If you needed something mentally, you could go. He just hit me as that guy. You go sit down and talk to him, and he talks philosophy with you, and kind of get your mind where it needs to be. And I just don't think South Carolina has that kind of person right now. Imagine the atmosphere this channel would have if we were good. I don't know, Cash Stampede. Actually, sometimes coaching searches and teams being bad builds these channels better than when they're playing good. Honestly, now if we were making a run to the playoffs but you got to think, I only been doing this 3 months. I only had this channel back up, Cash Stampede, and we're doing amazing, man. You guys are doing amazing out there. I appreciate every bit of it. We got, I don't know, 20, almost 30,000 views on this channel. We've gained over 500 subscribers in 3 months. Hell, y'all put me over 4,000 watch hours, which is to get monetized. That's where you got to be. And that's usually a lot of struggle people have is getting a watch time. The last 10 years have seen regression in football and baseball thanks to the garbage hires of Tanner. Can't argue that one, brother. And that path that this baseball team, that everybody thinks this baseball team is going to go down, where Monty Lee's hired when Paul Maneri retires, I ain't with Donati. I don't know if that's the path anymore. All that's changed now. Taylor Walston says, look up Sons of Saturday podcast. It's a Virginia Tech podcast. And they scheming for Shane, says it's easier to make the playoffs at Virginia Tech. Well, that is a fact. And I am subscribed to that channel. I haven't really watched their stuff since we played them first of the season. I really don't have time, honestly. I try to keep up with more of our South Carolina stuff, but I know the two guys you're talking about on Sons of Saturday, and I have heard that they do have Beamer now. I think it's Bud Foster. I don't remember the other guy's name. They want Shane Beamer because remember, Bud worked for his dad, so he was defensive coordinator. He knows Shane really well. I think the problem that most people tell me is that's the same AD that whatever his name is, Babcock or whatever it is at Virginia Tech. If they don't get rid of him, it's the same guy that pushed Shane's dad out the door. Now, I don't know how true that is. I ain't done any research on it because I don't really care. Oh, R says if Tanner was still AD, he would sell tampons in all the men's restrooms and think he accomplished special thing. Ray Tanner was a great baseball coach. if we look back through time at Ray Tanner, maybe he's done a lot of good things as an athletic director, but growing the baseball team back to what it was supposed to be, helping the football team get back up to the Spurrier. And I still say that's why Spurrier left. I think Steve Spurrier wanted that athletic director job at South Carolina, and Ray Tanner got it, and I think they butted heads. I don't know if that truth will ever come out, but I think that was just a situation where Steve Spurrier looked at Ray Tanner and said, I'm not fucking working for this guy. I'll just walk away, if you want me to be honest. That's my feelings towards it. I have no facts on that. That's just a rooster opinion. I think Steve Spurrier's ego was not going to allow him to work for Ray Tanner. It just wasn't going to happen. Thank you, Rooster, for my Gamecock football therapy session today. Hey, I'm always here for you, Mr. Cheatham. Always here for you, buddy. I'm about to get out of here and go watch some football anyway. Rest in peace, Rooster. Hey, yeah. Rest in peace, South Carolina. Them people, Virginia Tech, will gladly accept Shane. Yeah, just I don't know, maybe. And it also might be that that's all Virginia Tech's going to get in this cycle. I mean, I think they have delusions of grandeur. Dan Mullen's already said he's not coming. Dan Mullen's not coming back unless it's a big job. He basically told Arkansas he's not leaving. Dan Mullen's in the perfect spot. There's no pressure on him out there at UNLV, and he lives in Las Vegas. Man, go gambling whenever he wants to, do whatever the hell he wants to. He don't got no pressure, and he has a good shot at making the playoffs. All he's got to do is be the best G5 football, G6, or whatever you want to call them football team, and he makes the playoffs. Why come in a conference where you got to fight like that to make that? He's solid. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Not every coach wants these big time jobs, especially if they've already had them and been through all the bullshit. They might not want it again. I believe Beamer lost the team today. OC should now resign to keep his dignity and perhaps get another job or go sell chips with Jackpot. Game was lost when it was 14-7 and we ran 4 times in the middle. I think the game was lost before that when we didn't make it on the first time. When we gave up the ball, turned the ball over on downs when we were down there trying to score. When he didn't take the field goal, remember? Wrecked the confidence of this football team when you did that. Should have took the 3, been 7-3. Go off the field, you got some confidence, you got some points on the board. I thought Marcus Satterfield was so. But if y'all look back through Shula's career, I ain't gonna lie, just Wikipedia his ass. That dude ain't been anywhere more than 2 years in the last 10, 20 years of his damn career. He's with the Giants. He's been with Buffalo. He was with the Panthers back in the day. He's been with Miami. He's been that dude has been everywhere. I'm not kidding when I call him a suitcase coach. That he got all them stickers on his damn suitcase. Go look at it. He was fired from the Giants as an offensive coordinator. He's the dude's been everywhere and can't keep a job. Cash Stampede says I'm the best Gamecock YouTuber. I don't know about being the best, but you know what, Cash Stampede, I appreciate that. I just am who I am. I'm just a person. I'm just a normal fan like you guys. I don't blow no smoke. I'm not out here trying to blow smoke up everybody's ass and grow this thing that, let me tell you, I'm going to be all about great and everything's going to be great at South Carolina and I'm going to get 20,000 Gamecock fans to watch my channel. And I don't. I ain't about that. I ain't fluffing shit. I ain't Josh Payton shit for nobody. I'm going to tell you what I see on a football field, and I don't like it. SEC Lawman says Tanner was a legendary coach. No business being an AD. That was that good old boy thing, man. That was that good old boy, that old guard around the University of South Carolina that just needs to get flipped into to something new. BBR. What's up? Ken, you're right. Winning with the Gamecocks is impossible. Spurrier was GOAT level. Boy, could you imagine what Spurrier would have done if you'd have gave him money to pay players? Give Spurrier a transfer portal and NIL money. He would have wrecked the SEC. Would have wrecked it. All right, y'all. Looks like we're slowing down on the comments. Happy 77th birthday to Mrs. Ken. Happy birthday, Mrs. King. King. Make sure you tell her we said happy birthday. Rooster, have a good evening. I'm heading to Sam to see all the people that watch the game. Yeah, they're probably rioting in the streets. There are. Be careful. Be careful. Nah, they're over at the fair getting corn dogs, drinking liquor. Uh, Mr. Cheatham said, keep it real. Always, buddy. Always keep it real. You guys keep it real with me, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. And I don't care if anybody gets mad at us or not. We're gonna keep on keeping on. But love all you guys. I'm gonna go watch some more football. I made some boiled peanuts. That's why I'm gonna go eat some boiled peanuts. And hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. And we'll talk about it again later. Peace.